And that white thing up in the hill there is actually a statue of Mary, Virgin Mary. Weighs 50,000 pounds or 50 tons, something like that. Carried up there by helicopter in pieces. It's right on the Continental Divide.
Talked to a couple of people in the community, they talked to a couple of others. Soon it became a community-wide project, and there she stands.
Several of these old mine shafts in this area. This is the this is looking from Upper Butte to Lower Butte, looking south. It's awful smoggy and hazy in the area today because of forest fires in Idaho and Oregon.
You like it, Dean? You like it?
Businesses in town. Only two of them remain today. One bar and one finished bath. At one time, Butte had a Chinese population of over 2,000. Today, only a few Chinese families remain. Most of the Chinese came building the railroad. They stayed for a while. As late as 1937, there were Tong Wars in Butte. Park Street in the heart of beautiful uptown Butte. In 1906, 102,000 people lined Park Street to see the Independence Day parade. This year's parade route was considerably longer. Approximately 35,000 people viewed the parade, and they came from all over. In the days when Butte had a population around 100,000, there were as many people on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning as there would be at noon. They were sleeping in shifts. Ahead of us on the right, this tall building, Metal Bank Building, first building built in Butte with a steel framework, built in 1909 by F. Augustus Hindy, one of the Copper Kings. And on our left, the Curtis Music Hall, 1892, note the architecture. Now, the bank modality metal bank building went across the street, so on the first floor in the bank building today, there is a restaurant. You can eat in the vault. A photograph of about 1911. The building in the middle was on that parking lot. On the left on the corner is the bank building. On the side of Butte's first hotel, the Mineral Hotel. The Mineral Hotel was built in 1875. And across the street on the left, the Northwest Bank was the First National Bank, 1877. Ahead of us on the right, Butte's Old City Hall, 1890. Note the stained glass windows up above. It did have more stained glass. When the city government was dissolved, they no longer needed the building. They sold it to a man from California.
We're on our way to the Lewis and Clark Caves on Highway 2, heading east, I guess. It's kind of an interesting area here. Little caves and everything.
Come over in this big one.
This is the Highway 2 looking towards Lewis and Clark Caverns. And we made a stop here because we wanted to check out this big cave. Humongous. Must be, oh, I don't know, 50 feet high. I haven't looked inside to see how deep it is though.
Now we can get down.
Here's Dean and Randy inside of this cave. So you can get an idea how big it is. We came up over that ridge there and walked along, up along the top here and over to the other hole. Going back, you take this route here and go out through that tunnel down there and out to the outside. Save a few steps. We're now at the Lewis and Clark Caverns, and this is the road coming up to here in the surrounding countryside. It's quite a climb. Viewpoint way down there, looking down the valley that came up. Lewis and Clark Cavern Explorers just a huffing her up the trail here, sweating like pigs. Yeah, zigzag trail up to Lewis and Clark Caverns. There's a parking lot back there. The highway way down there in the bottom with the river in the rear. This is the view from the entrance to the cave. Here's the entrance to the Lewis and Clark Caverns way down there at the parking lot in the campground. You drive all the way up the mountain on the other side of that mountain to the parking lot over here. Then you walk the trail all the way up here and zigzag back and forth and switch back. And you get to the entrance of the cave right here.
Oh, you can stand.
The cave is in its most stable position. So if there was an earthquake
gravity. Therefore, the calcite can be deposited straight up and straight out. Okay, well, let's find out what's going on with Kim and Brenda. They're still together, so they must have decided to get married. However, it has been a few years. Now, Kim has a long beard, sort of a hunch in his back from all those years of hard work. Brenda's wearing a bun in her hair. She's got a shawl wrapped around her shoulders. She's resting for a while to celebrate their 50th anniversary. However, Kim has an ulterior motive in mind. See, during the time that they lived happily ever after. Yeah? Really?
This is going to be a strange angle picture, but I
There's
get
still
one
more people coming.
this way.
That's it?
That's it. Okay, this is the Garden of the Gods all in through here. This is actually the longest room on the tour. Also in here is the largest water source we're aware of in the cave. We call it the Crystal Pool. It's about 3 to 4 feet deep. Also, when you go by it, you'll notice there's a green tint to the water. When Morrison brought his tours through here, they used it as a wishing well and everyone threw their copper pennies in. That's why it's green. Also, it's very still. It actually looks more like a shadow or a sheet of glass in water. And the Crystal Pool is just down this next.
Get the old truck in here. Where's the washer?
Clear blue pool of bubbling water down there. And you walk up the walkway here. It circles around this area of a bubbling cauldron of mud. Super white in here, it's hard on the eyes.
A buffalo man.
Here, let me take your picture. Oh, you go ahead.
Let's stick it out.
Another area of this geyser area. It's just steaming water and you can hear the steam. Below that previous picture. Boiling pot of muddy water. It's a volcanic geyser plateau here. See geyser way over there, constantly blowing. One there. guys are looking into Surprise Geyser, or Surprise Pool. Surprise Pool, and Randy just threw a rock in there. You see it bubbling away. The water, that is, not the rock.
It's moved towards this side now. Must be sinking in underneath.
He's gonna throw another rock in.
There's 4. Those are smaller too. Let me get a big one.
Yeah. Not much bubbling effect there.
There's another one.
There, you see it bubbling away now.
That one, the other one.
Don't know why it bubbles, but it
The
does.
first one was good.
Want a shower, you just walk across the other walkway and just
The guys are at Fish Hole Lake,
fire.
or Fire Hole Lake, yeah.
That was black ground where the water is burnt.
The parking lot at the Old Faithful Geyser. Only a few dozen people here today. At the parking lot there, you can see people jammed up against the through the trees there, looking at Old Faithful, waiting for it to blow. Parking lot. Viewpoint away up there on the side of the hill. People up there watching down. See Old Faithful. This is Old Faithful Geyser. Hordes of people standing here watching this Old Faithful. I guess they all belong to those cars in the parking lot. We're down in the Grand Teton area of Wyoming, and come across these mother and 2 fawns, pronghorns. Going towards St. Mary, following Dean. Pretty exciting stuff.
Monday, August the 10th.
You can see some of the Rocky Mountains in behind him there. Kind of a narrow road, this one. This is my truck driving woman here, just hustling along. Look at that expression, wow. Whoa. Oh, did you see that? Picking her nose, spitting out the window. God, this St. Mary, about 6 miles away in Montana. And these are some of the mountains that are in the Glacier National Park.
Scan to your left, man.
Crap's taking pictures out of vehicles, bouncing all over the place. They're up the highway now, heading towards Kalispell. It's one of the mountains on the right-hand side of the highway, looking up. It's a long ways up there. Oh, there's a bunch of dead trees here. From a fire or something. This is on the other side of the highway looking south. Very nice ridges, nice mountains. Pull-ups. The pull-offs for taking pictures aren't very good on this highway though. Best to come from the west and head east. There are two resident rockhounds. Dawn found herself a fossil just east of Browning. There's a shellfish. It was on the side of the road where they graded. This is this fossil that Dawn found on the side of the highway there. It's a this is a shell. See the lines in here? Like a shellfish. That's the road we have to take up towards the pass. Some more scenic vistas, and that's the road we just came up. This is the back side of that previous picture we're looking at, where it was very high. Some of the rock that's up above us here. And back to the highway again. Falls along the side of the road. And tripling and falling, smashing down. We're just over the pass, and what walks out of here but a billy goat? Right onto the highway. For the pass here. They come down this highway here.
It's coming towards
and
you
around. And guess what's sitting there? One little billy goat coming up the highway towards us here to have a look. Look at this. Look at the mountains. Can't get my camera wide enough. There's the highway, you go down the hill. Way down. Way down. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Back up a bit. Well, give me the old butt there. Good, we got one goat here. Look off to the right, and here comes another goat across the road. I guess he's coming over to see what's going on. And now we got two billies. Hey, you're in my territory. Get out of here. That's my antifreeze. Come quite a ways from the pass.
Not the big tall
one. Way up there. And we go down this road here.
No,
And you can see it winding along the side of the mountain over there and down into the valley. Valley so low. It goes along and up this valley, or down this valley, whatever. You see the cars way down there. Up through this valley. Some of the mountains.